When I tell you struggle builds the strength comfort could never give you, I'm not giving you a motivational slogan. I'm telling you the truth about life. I'm telling you the truth about who you are becoming. Because somewhere along the line, somebody taught you to fear struggle, to pray it away, to avoid it, to run from it like it was a punishment. But struggle was never your enemy. Struggle was training you, developing you, shaping you into the version of yourself that comfort could never produce. Comfort is silent, comfort is soft, comfort lets you stay exactly where you are while the world moves on, but struggle speaks, struggle pushes, struggle shows up uninvited and says, let's go, you're stronger than this. And the crazy part is, you don't even realize it's helping you while you're in it, because struggle never feels good while it's happening. It feels like loss, like pressure, like weight. But that weight is building something. That pressure is creating something. It's the same way a muscle grows. You don't get stronger lifting feathers. You get stronger lifting something that fights back. People want strength without resistance, but it doesn't work like that. You want confidence, discipline, resilience, emotional maturity, toughness. But you want it without hardship. You want to become a warrior without going to war. You want to lead without ever being tested. And life doesn't operate like that. Life hands you the exact experiences needed to build the exact qualities your destiny requires. Every season of struggle is preparation. Every challenge you survive is a tool you'll use later. You think you're just going through something, but you're actually growing through something. The problem is you keep thinking struggle means something's wrong with you. You think hardship is proof you're failing. You think obstacles are signs to quit. No, struggle is proof you're alive. Struggle is proof you're evolving. Struggle is evidence that you're moving into territory that demands a stronger version of you. You don't get transformed hanging out in comfort zones. Nothing grows there. Nothing elevates there. Comfort will keep you safe, but it will never make you great. Comfort will keep you liked, but it will never make you legendary. Comfort will give you a pillow, but struggle gives you a backbone. Struggle gives you grit. Struggle teaches you how to get up when the world knocks you down. Struggle teaches you how to show up when you don't feel like it. Struggle teaches you how to keep your word when quitting would be easier. Comfort can't teach you that. Comfort will never demand that from you. Struggle takes you to the edge of yourself and forces you to discover strength you didn't even know you had. That's why some of the strongest people you'll ever meet didn't get that strength from winning. They got it from losing. They got it from breaking. They got it from nights they cried, days they doubted, moments they were ready to give up. That strength you admire in somebody else, they earned it in a season of struggle. They earned it when everything in their life said stop, and they made the uncomfortable decision to keep going anyway. That's what builds a person, not praise, not applause, not recognition. Struggle. Struggle builds you in private long before the world ever sees you in public. And I get it, struggle feels unfair. It feels heavy. It feels lonely, but loneliness teaches you independence. Pressure teaches you problem solving. Pain teaches you empathy. Hardship teaches you humility. Every single struggle is a lesson wrapped inside discomfort. And if you can stop fighting the lesson and start learning from it, the struggle won't just make you stronger. It will make you unstoppable. You've got to stop asking life why it's hard and start asking yourself what this season is trying to build in you. Instead of running from the struggle, lean into it. Ask yourself, who am I becoming while I fight through this? What habits am I forming? What weaknesses am I confronting? What beliefs am I shedding? What strength is being born in me, because the version of you that will walk into your destiny is not the same version standing here right now. Destiny requires a stronger you, and struggle is the builder. So when life puts weight on you, don't panic. Pick it up, lift it, grow from it. When challenges show up, don't crumble, rise to meet them. When adversity hits, don't shut down, step forward. Because every time you face struggle instead of running from it, you rise another level. You grow another layer. You add another piece to the foundation of who you are becoming. Comfort might give you temporary relief, but struggle gives you permanent strength. And in the long run, that strength is worth more than any easy moment you've ever had. You think struggle is trying to break you, but it's actually trying to prepare you. You think it's trying to stop you, but it's trying to sculpt you. You think it's trying to hurt you, but it's trying to shape you into someone who can carry the weight of the greatness you've been praying for. Greatness requires strength. Strength requires struggle. That's the equation. That's the truth. And once you accept that, you stop fearing the hard seasons and start using them, because the struggle you're in today is building the strength you'll need tomorrow. Some of you don't even realize how powerful you are, because every time life hits you with something hard, you assume it's a punishment instead of preparation. But the truth is, every struggle you face is developing a mind that you cannot buy, borrow, or learn from a book. A strong mindset isn't formed when everything is going well. It's forged in the fire, in the chaos, in the uncertainty, in the nights when your thoughts won't quiet down and your responsibilities feel too heavy to carry. That's where your mental strength is born. Not on the days you feel good, but on the days you have to drag yourself forward with nothing but grit. That's when the mind gets sharper, tougher, clearer. That's when you learn how to talk to yourself instead of listening to the voice that tells you you're not enough. Struggle forces you to choose who you're going to be mentally. That's why the people who have fought through the most usually stand the tallest. Their mindset wasn't built from convenience. It was built from hardship. They learned how to keep going when everything inside them said stop. They learned how to silence the noise in their head that said, you can't. They learned how to find peace in pressure, clarity in chaos, purpose in pain. You don't get that kind of mindset by living an easy life. You only get it when you've been tested. You only get it when life puts you in a corner and your only choices are to break down or break through. A strong mindset is built when you stop expecting the world to be easy. You stop expecting yourself to have all the answers. You stop expecting the journey to make sense. Instead, you learn how to adapt. You learn how to adjust. You learn how to stand firm even when the ground beneath you is shaking. That's strength. That's growth. That's the result of struggle. Without it, your mindset stays soft. It stays fragile. It shatters at the first sign of inconvenience, but once you go through something, once you climb out of a pit you thought you'd never escape, suddenly you walk differently, you talk differently, you think differently. Your confidence changes, your tolerance for negativity shrinks. Your belief in yourself becomes unshakable, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Struggle teaches you how to control your thoughts instead of letting your thoughts control you. It teaches you discipline in the moments your emotions want to take over. It teaches you how to stay focused even when distractions scream for your attention. A strong mindset doesn't mean you don't feel fear, doubt, stress, or frustration. It means you've learned how to push through those feelings without letting them dictate your actions. You learn how to say, yeah, this hurts, but I'm still going. Yeah, I'm tired, but I promised myself I wouldn't quit. Yeah, I'm scared, but I'm not backing down. That's the strength struggle gives you. It trains your mind to keep fighting even when your circumstances look hopeless. And once your mindset gets strong, everything changes. Opportunities you used to talk yourself out of become possible. Goals you thought were too big suddenly look reachable. Challenges that used to intimidate you become chances to grow. You stop letting other people's opinions shape your direction. You stop letting setbacks define you. You stop letting fear limit you. You start feeling responsible for your life, your choices, your future. A strong mindset turns you from a victim into a survivor, from a follower into a leader, from someone who waits for life to happen into someone who makes life happen. But here's the part most people miss. A strong mindset has to be maintained. You don't build it once and keep it forever. It grows every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone. It weakens every time you choose the easy route. Struggle is a reminder to stay sharp, Life will test you again and again, not because you're unlucky, but because you have more in you to become. Every season of struggle is polishing you, cutting off pieces that don't serve you, revealing strength that has been buried under doubt, fear, laziness, and excuses. You're being refined, not ruined, strengthened, not defeated. You're being prepared to carry the weight of the dreams you asked for. One day you'll look back and realize the moments that hurt you the most were the same moments that made you the strongest. The same struggle you begged to escape became the reason you can handle what others can't. The same pain that made you question your worth forged the mindset that now protects your purpose. The same pressure that felt unbearable trained you to stand unshakable. That's why you don't run from struggle. You respect it, you learn from it, you let it build the mental strength required for the life you're trying to create. The struggle that challenges your mind today will be the reason you triumph tomorrow. There comes a point in your journey where struggle stops being something that just happens to you and starts becoming something that shapes you into someone you never imagined you could become. That's the moment you begin to see that pain is not just a weight, it's a teacher. Every adversity you face is pushing you toward a version of yourself that is more disciplined, more focused, more resilient. And the crazy part is you don't even realize it while you're in the struggle. You only see it when you look back and think, I never knew I could survive that. But you did, and if you're still standing, that means you didn't just survive it. You grew from it. The truth is, growth rarely comes wrapped in comfort. Growth comes wrapped in resistance. You have to push against something. You have to stretch yourself. You have to do things that feel unnatural, uncomfortable, inconvenient. That's where the muscle is built, not in ease, but in effort, not in calm, but in conflict, not in the good days, but in the days that feel like they're trying to break you. Those are the moments when you learn what you're really made of. You learn how to dig deeper, think sharper, act stronger. You learn how to find a way when every part of you wants to quit. That's growth, and growth always demands struggle. You can't evolve while staying the same. You can't rise if you stay at the level you've already mastered. Struggle forces you to elevate. It forces you to leave behind old habits, old mindsets, old patterns that can't go with you to the next level. Think about it. Every struggle you've ever faced has required you to become someone different, more patient, more disciplined, more focused, more intentional. You weren't the same person after you came out of it. That's not a coincidence. That's transformation. Hard, uncomfortable, real transformation. Sometimes the struggle isn't external. Sometimes it's internal. The fight between who you are and who you know you need to become. The tug-of war between the old version of you that wants comfort and the new version of you that wants greatness. That battle right there, that's the one that develops strength. That's the fight that makes you grow. Because the hardest person you will ever have to fight is the you who is okay with being average, and the strongest person you'll ever meet is the you who chooses growth anyway, even when it hurts, even when it's lonely, even when it feels like the progress is invisible. But every small choice, every hard decision, every moment you push yourself when no one is watching, that's growth silently happening inside you. Growth requires honesty. Struggle forces that honesty out of you. It makes you confront your flaws, your weaknesses, your excuses. It shows you the places where you've been settling, the areas where you've been hiding, the corners of your life you've been avoiding. Struggle shines a light on everything you need to change, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's why struggle is necessary. It makes improvement unavoidable. It forces you to level up whether you feel ready or not. The people who grow the most in life aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who stayed in the fight. They're the ones who stayed committed even when the results were slow. They're the ones who learned that growth isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It's messy, it's exhausting, it's emotional, but it's worth it. Because every time you choose to grow, you become someone who can handle more, achieve more, lead more, inspire more. Growth is the price you pay for the life you say you want. Sometimes growth doesn't feel like growth. It feels like loss. It feels like confusion. It feels like letting go of people who can't go where you're going. It feels like stepping away from environments that keep you small. It feels like finally being real with yourself about what's working and what's not. Growth pulls things out of your hands to put better things in them, but if you're too afraid to let go, you miss what was meant to replace it. The struggle that takes something from you is often making room for something greater. And let me tell you, one day you're going to look back and thank every struggle that developed you. You're going to thank the nights you cried but didn't quit. You're going to thank the days you pushed through even though your body was tired and your mind was heavy. You're going to thank the people who doubted you because they made you hungry. You're going to thank the failures because they taught you how to rise. You're going to thank the setbacks because they forced you to grow in ways you never planned. Struggle is not your enemy. It's your trainer, your sculptor, your elevator. You don't grow when life is easy. You grow when you refuse to give up when it gets hard. There comes a moment when the struggle stops being something you run from and starts being something you use. You stop seeing it as a punishment and start recognizing it as preparation. And when you reach that point, everything changes. You begin to understand that strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And every time life hits you, every time you're forced to get back up, every time you choose to try again when quitting feels easier, that's you building strength. That's you becoming stronger than the situation, stronger than the setback, stronger than the excuses that used to control your life. Too many people are waiting for the perfect moment, the calm moment, the easy moment, but strength doesn't come from ease. Strength comes from heat, from pressure, from resistance. Diamonds don't form in a gentle environment, they form under extreme stress. And the same goes for you. Your greatest qualities, your deepest resilience, your most powerful confidence, none of that was born from comfort. It was born from situations that forced you to grow, forced you to think, forced you to stretch, forced you to become a version of yourself you hadn't met yet. And the truth is, life is going to keep testing you until you learn what you were meant to learn. You can avoid the lesson, you can run from it. You can pretend you're not ready, but life will bring that same challenge right back around. Not because it wants to break you, but because it wants to build you. It's shaping you for the places you said you wanted to go. It's preparing you for the blessing you've been asking for. Strength is not optional if you want a strong life. You can't carry the weight of success with weak character, weak discipline, or weak habits. The struggle is strengthening you for what you prayed for. And let's be real, sometimes the struggle feels unfair. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes it feels like everyone else is winning while you're fighting battles no one sees. But it's in that loneliness that you grow the most. Strength doesn't build in the spotlight, it builds in the shadows. It builds when you wake up early and no one claps for you. It builds when you hold yourself accountable because you know you can do better. It builds when you decide not to quit even though nobody would blame you if you did. Every unseen moment is adding weight to your spirit, power to your mindset, toughness to your heart. You're gaining strength in silence. And here's the beautiful part, strength doesn't just change what you can handle, it changes who you become. It shifts your identity. When you've been through enough storms, you stop fearing rain. When you've climbed enough mountains, you stop doubting your legs. When you've survived enough setbacks, you stop thinking failure is final. Strength gives you a new voice, a new confidence, a new energy. You walk into rooms differently. You set goals differently. You talk to yourself differently. You stop apologizing for your ambition. You stop minimizing your worth. You start moving like someone who knows they can survive, overcome, rebuild, and rise. Strength isn't just a trait, it becomes your spirit. But here's the part I need you to really feel. Strength you gain from struggle becomes a gift to other people, too. When you get stronger, you become the person others lean on. You become someone who inspires without trying. You become proof that pain doesn't have to paralyze you. You become evidence that struggle can shape you into someone powerful. Your strength becomes someone else's hope, and that makes every hardship meaningful, every tear worth it, every setback valuable. So don't curse the struggle, don't run from it, don't resent it, lean into it, grow through it, let it stretch you, sharpen you, strengthen you. Let it break the old version of you so the new one can emerge. You're not going through this for nothing. You're being refined, you're being rebuilt. You're being prepared for bigger, for greater, for more. And when it's all said and done, the strength you built in the dark will shine brighter than anything that ever tried to stop you. Because every struggle that tried to break you was actually building the strongest version of you.